Hey everybody, this is Steve Kodan of the Feng Shui Cure. This particular video that you're about to watch is about the kitchen and Feng Shui. And if you've listened to any of my other videos, you know that two rooms especially are extremely important in a home as the kitchen and the master bedroom. So we're going to spend the next few minutes on the kitchen and try to give you some really good ideas of how to make that come across as being a very positive part of your house. Now, there are a lot of concerns that possibly you might never even take into account. If you know anything about the five elements at this point, often there are elements that clash. For example, the fire element and the water element really don't get along terribly well. So sometimes in particular kitchens you might have a fire source next to a source that represents water. For example, let's say you have a refrigerator next to the stove. Okay, that is a distinct problem that we need to handle. So sometimes you have to consider something like that and bring in what I would call sort of the referee, the earth element between the two of them. All right, that's just one thing that needs to be considered. In a lot of our kitchens in the West, we have the cooks back to what's going on in the rest of the kitchen. This is also considered to be a problem. It's a security problem. It's a situation where the cook might not be able to do the best job they personally can preparing the food. So sometimes you might need to put a mirror or a shiny surface so that they can see behind them. Now we're going to do a before and after here, and this is the before, and there's going to be several things that I'm going to point out, and then I'll show you some of the changes in the next slide. There are a lot of sharp corners in this particular picture. You notice the green arrows? Those represent poison arrows, and poison arrows, once again, are something that cause stress in a human being. So if you sit or you sleep, or even if you stand in a position with one of these pointing at you directly for a long period of time, you're not going to be your best. You're going to feel the stress. And in a sleeping situation, you will not sleep as well as you'd like to. So those sharp corners need to be handled. Those poison arrows need to be handled whether it's in a kitchen or any other room of the house. Now if you notice the dining table, it's got sharp corners on it. So often when I'm talking to a client and they're considering buying a dining room or a kitchen table, I try to get them to buy an oval or a circle, or at least a table that has rounded corners to take away that stress immediately. Now, if you have to have a table like this, or you can't possibly buy another one at this point, you know, a tablecloth over top the table will soften the edges to a degree. Okay? Now, the energy coming off those windows can be at times quite severe. And if you remember from other slides about the classic armchair setup, how important it is for our psyche. The person who has their back to that window on the right-hand side is definitely going to feel very insecure and not very comfortable. In a lot of cases, most of these chairs where they're sitting are not going to be in a very comfortable setting. So something like that needs to be solved too. All right? So there's a lot of things that are not quite right. The flow could be improved and so forth. So let's look at the after at this point. Now this person took my recommendation and bought a round table. Certainly it's going to come across as being less stressful to anybody in there. The chair setup has been now offset to like a 45-degree angle to the windows, giving them less of the stress coming off of the energy. The plants help with the flow, trying to get it into a more of meandering pattern, the chi and the energy. Notice the picture on the left-hand side, there was a very sharp corner there. And certainly people would feel that one. They've placed a plant there that droops over the corner, again softening the corner and making it more acceptable. So plants are a very, very helpful thing in a lot of ways. They increase the energy in an environment, but they also can be used for balancing elements and even softening corners like this. So kitchens can be out of balance, and often they're not, because they usually have all 5 elements. They have fire. Think of the stove, the microwave. They've got water. We have the refrigerator and the sink. They usually have wood because of the cabinets. They have earth. Quite often the floor will help you there, or the countertops. And often they have metal. The appliances are usually either a white or a stainless steel. So in a lot of cases they give you metal also. So usually they have all 5 elements that we're trying to get. Now the kitchen below, the larger picture of the two, I want you to see that it's very, very over the top with respect to metal. So definitely, if I was to come into this particular kitchen, I would be working on that and using elements that possibly would dose the effect of the metal, because I really can't pull these things out very easily. Most people are not going to be willing to do that. So you're going to have to balance out the metal in that situation. Now here's one more of a traditional kitchen, and I hope you can see what the dominant element is in here. Yeah, it's wood, over the top wood. So certainly we need to take care of that situation too. Possibly bringing in some accessories, but even that might not quite do it. We've got a wood floor, wood cabinets, even a wood backsplash to the stove. So there's an awful lot of wood, including the chairs. It's just amazing. So you need to bring a little more metal into this, because metal cuts wood, and you might need to bring a lot of metal into this particular situation. So a kitchen's got to be very, very inviting, very comfortable. It has to come off as organized and in balance. When you're looking for a kitchen for your needs, you're looking for these things whether you know it or not. You want to be able to go into a place like this and be able to actually prepare a meal very easily. So it's got to be very clean. It's got to be uncluttered. And again, the ease of finding things will allow the person doing the cooking to really perform their task very well. So you want to organize things. You want them to be able to move around easily and not have to take an awful lot of steps to get things done. Now, currently, a kitchen is a place where actually a lot of people now gather with their visitors. So it represents an awful lot of other things nowadays. But it does represent, as always, receiving energy and nourishment. And therefore, it really has a lot to do with the health of the family. So in summary about the kitchen, you need to start by cleaning it extremely well and try to keep up on that. Keep the counters free. You don't want a lot of appliances up there, a lot of things stopping the energy from moving. Use plants to raise the energy in here and to balance out the elements. Take away poison arrows. You'll find it really changes the feeling. Make sure you can move through it easily and it's very organized. You want the cook to feel secure, so you might need to use a reflective surface if their back is to everything. And of course, you want to balance the 5 elements like you do anywhere in the house. So if you have interest in learning how to use Feng Shui, please consider joining me in Florida or Georgia this year. I do a particular course that is inexpensive, in one of 8 locations, and I would love you to take a good look at this whole program. We use a lot of very colorful slides. You get an awful lot of information. You get a lot of material that you take home with you. There's only one full day on site at the city that you choose, but you also get 4 webinars that we do, which are recorded. You get a lifetime of aid from me. You get 25 videos that specifically handle all of the items of a house inside and out. So if you've got a problem with the front yard and you're trying to get it sold, you need to just watch video number 11 again. If your master bedroom has been a problem when you're trying to stage it, maybe you need to do the following and just watch video number 17 again. I promise you, everything's been thought of for you. It's a complete system. So no matter if you need help selling homes or want to learn more about Feng Shui to help your buyers, or you just want to create an environment that is very, very special for you and your family, consider taking this training, which leads to being awarded the certification of Feng Shui Staging Professional. To get more information about this training and myself, just go to this website, thefengshuicure.com. And there are several pages on there. Just go to FSSP Certification and Training. Look at the itinerary. Everything that you receive 12 different things, and you'll find out how easy it is to register using PayPal, and you'll find out exactly what cities that I am doing the class in this year. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you'll go to the site and take a look.